You're on.
Are you doing video?
I'm doing video.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. And this is one of my favorite drummers here. As a matter of fact, I took my drum lessons at the old Hauer over on 1st Street. Mr. Fred Buck. You go down to the drum department, you see a picture of him as a Gene Krupa. Him and Gene Krupa. And my old drum teacher downstairs. Yeah, his too. As a matter of fact, he used to take lessons right before me. His lesson. And when he finished his lesson, I went in right after him. So,
hey, Curtis.
What year was it?
This was 60. Yeah, man.
You were a real little young man, right?
Yeah, it was probably 64.
Introduce yourselves, fellas.
Curtis Sanford.
I'm Bill Hauer, Hauer Music.
And Curtis, what are you doing for a living right now?
I kind of coordinated this drummer shoot and help Bill. We're going to do it outside, but I had a forecast for rain, so I called Bill, a good friend of mine, and asked him if we could do it here. So he gave us this room and got all the drummers here, and we had a great day.
And who are you drumming with now?
I am currently playing with the Deal. They had hits back in the 80s. I'm out in LA doing some session work. There's a new artist called Maurice. She's kind of Katy Perry meets Rihanna. Doing session work and stuff with her. When she starts her tour, I'm playing with her. And I'm filling in this guy John Diggum, who used to do Fishbone, his guitars. He's got like 3 or 4 CDs out, and I'm also playing with him, as well as David Ruffin Jr. I'm doing stuff with him out in LA.
Give us a little overview of how you pulled this event today together, and give me the title of what this event is.
The title's called The Beat of Dayton, and what I did was I saw the old Harlem jazz picture with Miles Davis, Charlie Parker, Coltrane, Buddy Rich, Elvin Jones, all the big famous jazz artists. They got them together and did a shot in front of this building in Harlem. And then a friend of mine, Larry Lee, who plays with the Detroit Lions, he's a bass player. He did the same thing in Detroit with all the Detroit basses. So I was just like, I think I want to do this with all the drummers in Dayton. And with the event of time passing and some of us leaving, I was like, well, let me capture who we have here now, and it's a great thing. It just turned out really good.
Bill, tell us a little bit about. I'm sorry, Bill. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a local drummer. Play in 2 different groups. One's called the Mind Reels, an acoustic band, and I use a percussion item called a cajon. It's basically a box drum. And another rock band called the Outlets. We played back in the early 80s and kind of disbanded, but the original bass player and myself put the band back together. We're currently playing in the Dayton area.
Okay.
It's local classic rock music. And I've been working at Hauer Music, family-owned and operated business. My grandfather started the company in 1937. And we've been around for 76 years, and I've been here for 33 years.
So it's safe to say
Dayton in music and retail business. It's great to see all these drummers together, especially a lot of the customers that come in and shop at Hauer's to come in and take this photo.
So it's pretty safe to say that you and your family at some point have had your fingerprints on a lot of the Dayton talent that's come through here and gone on a national level. From the Players to Platypus to Lakeside to Slave, Heat Wave, Dayton, everybody else.
Readers, Guided by Voices, everybody.
Yeah, New Horizons. Anybody that's probably come through here and moved on has probably either bought something from here, strings, drum kits, or taken lessons from here.
Right.
So, yeah, you've been
we've been very fortunate. We've had a lot of great customers, and Curdy's one of them. And it's great to see, even with drummers that are out of town, even from Dayton all the way to Los Angeles, we can get together and do an event like this.
Right.
And we still do drum clinics and get drummers together, so we are still doing those on a regular basis. We do 2 or 3 a year. We'll bring a famous drummer in and do a drum workshop here at the store. So.
Real quick in closing, give us a little bit of history about this room. This is pretty awesome.
Well, this building was built in the 1870s, and it was originally a brewery. And I don't know if your camera can get that or not, but if you look straight up, you can see a corkscrew with a wood beam with this corkscrew going in it. That's actually one of the original pieces that were in here that grinded the hops and the barley when they made beer in here in the late 1870s. And this is a historical canal building. The Erie Canal, which ran from the Ohio River to Lake Erie, is now Patterson Boulevard out front. So this is what they call a canal building, and it was several things. But the first item that was in here was a brewery. So a lot of history in this building we're standing.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Curdy,
Yes.
what is happening later on this evening? This is like 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, June 1.
Right.
This was just phase one of this weekend's event.
Yeah. A good friend of ours, Lamar Webster, hosts kind of a blog entertainment site on Facebook called the DMG, which is the Dayton Musicians Group. And he keeps the younger musicians and people abreast of a certain genre of talent that was spawned in Dayton, Ohio. The R&B, funk, Ohio Players, Slave, Heatwave, Lakeside, Platypus, Phaso. All these bands were really big back in the 70s. At one point in, I'd say 79, we had 14 R&B bands signed to major record labels. And they did an article called Something in the Water, because there was just like Memphis back in the 60s, Minneapolis with the Prince era when they had a lot of bands coming out of there, Atlanta right now, a lot of hip hop comes out of there. So Dayton at one point had a lot of music coming out of there, and Lamar keeps the regular people that aren't aware of that, and a lot of the younger people, keeps them aware of what rich musical history we have here. Well, he's having a function tonight at Jilly's, and it's going to be talk of like Sugarfoot with the Ohio Players passing, and they're kind of doing a little tribute thing for him, and just kind of letting everybody know, keeping them up to date on what's going on with these musicians who have been here and what's going on in the music scene now. So that's tonight at Jilly's. It's 6 o'clock. It's supposed to start at 6, but it's probably going to start a little bit later, you know, because everybody has to go home and rest and regroup and get out there. But that's what's going on tonight.
That's awesome. Now, Diamond was a part of this. James Diamond Williams was a part of this photo shoot.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody knows him as a strong contributor and drummer to the legendary Ohio Players. Will he also be in attendance tonight at the concert?
I'm not sure about that. He was invited, but I don't know what his schedule is, you know, because this is early. A lot of people came early because they have other events to do tonight, like me. So I'm not sure if he'll be there tonight. I'm sure at one of these DMG functions, we will be presenting some kind of recognition award to these guys, because they are like the pioneers for all of us as far as that. On another note, I was also in contact with Mr. Jim McPherson, who's the drummer for the Breeders, and they are a platinum selling band as well. He sends his hello and everything, because they are in Paris. They're in Paris, France, so they weren't able to make it. So I'm going to also list some of the drummers who couldn't make it, as well as Steve Arrington, who was with Slave, and has a solo project, Hall of Fame, which after he left Slave. He kind of revamped his solo career, and he's got an album out, and he's recording his next one. So he was going to be here, and he called me, and they scheduled his album, so he's in Chicago. But he also wanted to say hello and let everybody know that he was totally on board with this too. So.
All right, that's awesome. I'll tell you what, I had a lot of fun photographing this event. I'm also having fun recording this interview. Learned a lot about this building, Bill, that I had no idea, and I've been in Dayton all my life.
Yeah.
I did not know this was a brewery.
Well, thank you for coming down and doing your photography work. It was a real special event for all of us.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and we definitely appreciate you allowing us to use this venue to make this happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks a lot,
All
Bill.
right, thank you.
All right.
It was great. It was fun. No